Hi, Mr. Loader here. Wanted to talk to you about the learning for English for Wednesday the 13th of January. The WALT is to understand what synonyms are and find our own ones. So identifying a synonym. I wonder if there's another word for synonym. Well, that's a bit of a joke really, because synonyms are other words for a certain word. So here it talks about word families, okay, and how they're linked together, they're related together, okay, so some forms have similar form, meaning, or spelling, okay, so some of these words might be linked together, okay, by meaning. You might see there the ones that are on there. So a synonym is a specific type of related word. A synonym is a word that has exactly or nearly the same meaning as another word in the same language. So, for example, you can see the word shout on the screen. We could have scream. That's a very similar word to shout. We've got yell, we've got call, we've got cry as well we could have. So if you want to find synonyms, then a good place to look is a thesaurus, or you could type into Google a certain word and put thesaurus or synonym next to it, and it will give you a list for that word. So here's an example of synonyms in sentences. So the word cold is the word that I'm thinking of. Okay, and then you'll see underneath it's exactly the same sentence, but that one word has changed. It's changed from cold to freezing. Okay, now this is the whole point of synonyms, and the more words you know, the better vocabulary you have, the better your writing becomes. So, for example, I'm thinking this morning when I went outside and got into my car, it was just cold out there. There was no frost on the car, there was no ice on the car. But last week, I had to scrape the ice off my car, and I think the bottom sentence would be more appropriate. So I'm thinking here about the adjectives in the sentence, the describing words. Sometimes certain words fit situations better. Okay, and that's why it's important to know synonyms. Okay, because they differentiate certain situations. So I would say that cold means, yeah, it's a little bit chilly. When it's freezing, it's that to that greater extent of being cold, isn't it? It's even colder than another day, really. So that's why it's important to have such a good knowledge of words and language. So you might want to just discuss this with an adult and try and think of synonyms for these three words: big, hot, and nice. Okay, so they're three words, three adjectives. Okay, so you might want to pause the video and have a think of some synonyms for those words. Okay, I'll give you a chance to do that. Okay, so if I'm thinking about big, there's loads of words that I can think of for big. So we might have gigantic, massive, large, colossal. And if I go back to thinking about that slide before, then if I'm thinking about, even if it's just a hill, or something that's tall, maybe like a tower. If someone said to me, "Oh, I saw a big tower at the weekend," and someone else said to me, "Oh, well, I saw a massive tower at the weekend," then in my head, I'd imagine that the massive tower is bigger than the big tower. Okay, because some words come across as more powerful than others, and that's why there's an importance about knowing synonyms and their meaning. Again, like hot, you could have boiling, couldn't you? Roasting. There's some other words that you could use instead of hot. So you might have thought of a lot more than that. And then nice, friendly, kind, lovely, maybe even the word considerate. Okay, but again, certain words fit certain situations better than others. So this is what the learning is, the activity. There is a file attached on the website, uploaded onto the website. And what I'd like you to do is find alternative words to the words given using a thesaurus, or you could search on the internet, couldn't you? So you've got words here, good, bad, ugly, pretty, old, young, sad, happy, angry. And what I want you to do is make a list of them using a table. Now I've here done an example. So I picked the word good from the list. I've picked brilliant. I found brilliant, excellent, exceptional, quality, wonderful. They all have a similar meaning to good. Okay, so you might want to pick 4 other ones from that box and see if you can find some other words that mean some synonyms that mean the same thing. Now, if you would like to do the fly high challenge, what I'd like you to do is pick one of the words from the table. So you start words. So, for example, I might pick good, and then put it into a sentence, and then write that sentence again with one of these different words. Okay. So an example was, the teacher was impressed with the child because they had done a good piece of work. The teacher was impressed with the child because they had done an exceptional piece of work. And decide which one do you think is more appropriate. Now, I'm thinking here the second one is more appropriate. Reason being is, it's more likely that the teacher would show the children an exceptional piece of work than a good piece of work, because exceptional means it's like really, really good. Okay, it's a different level of good, isn't it? So you might want to again write some sentences, use some of those words, and see which one fits the sentence more appropriately. Okay, and again, this is an activity that you might want to just discuss with someone once you've finished the main learning. And then I kind of talked about this through the slides, haven't I? But the plenary, why is it important to have a good knowledge of synonyms?